see my mother, but I stayed in a hotel, you know, rented a car and...
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay?
I'm not a big fan of mystery. A lot of people that are into this industry, into this niche, have been getting very mad at me. However, I'm sticking to my guns on this. I don't think he's a good coach. On the other hand, though, is he a good pickup artist? Is he good with women? There's a big misnomer with a lot of gentlemen where they think that if you are good with women, you must be a great coach. That's not the case. So in this video right here, we're going to be breaking down Mr. Infield. Do I think he's good with women, despite the fact that I think he may not be the best coach? With that being said, let's get into the video.
Yo, bitch, I got some buzzes clawing on my fucking stomach. I'm from the shadows, let the gallows make...
Before I enter into this set, I'd like to get a hotter girl, ultimately. Is that proximity?
Tell you what, I'll make a quick spin around and look for hotter. Use these as control.
I'm so glad I didn't go into that set just now. If I get an interrupt in the first 3 minutes, that's called an external interrupt. It can compromise my values. Because then here I am, standing there waiting for them to make their introductions. But I'm not well known enough in the original set to be introduced. Lowers my value. I lucked out on that one.
I actually don't even completely disagree with him because I'm the same way. For most of you guys, though, I would say don't even think about that. Just get in the approach, especially if you're not approaching to begin with. Don't worry about this. This is something like, to be fair, actually, I will say this. By watching his infields, I've already watched probably a good portion of this infield already. He is, honestly, he's put in a lot of work. He does say weird stuff like this every so often. Like, I mean, he tries to make this... He was originally a socially very awkward guy who's like kind of into Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. I am too. So that makes sense for him to say that, but it's just not like how a cool guy would talk. That's like something that I kind of have an issue with. But for most of you guys, don't worry about something like this. Don't be like, oh, I'm not going to approach her because then there's going to be an external interrupt. I wouldn't really worry about that too much. Me personally, though, if a girl was like, you know, in that situation, yeah, I would do the same thing. I'd wait for them to get their interaction out, their meeting up, and I would then go in more sniper it. But yeah, it's not a bad way to view it. Oh, and something to recognize too is that one, the camera that is filming him in the club is very obvious, so there's going to be a lot of extra value from that from girls. It's like LA club, I believe, and in LA they're going to see the camera on him. A lot of the girls are going to be interested more because there is a camera on him, and mystery thrives on attention. His other guy, Matador, I feel like he got very nervous from the camera being there, which is because of the added pressure, whereas mystery actually thrives in energy like this, where he has so much energy and attention on him. Yeah. Another thing too is like he's constantly being approached and being stared at by all these guys. That's also going to add value. If you guys are ever on a boot camp with me, never stare at me when we're in an interaction together, because if you do, the other girls are going to start hitting on me as well because they're going to see that I'm the leader. So they're going to peel off you and try to hit on me and get at me. In the same way, that does help them out again with the interactions.
Oh, the night's young. They're there. I know they're here. I don't mind holding back before I enter into a set. I'll break my 3-second rule if I believe that the 3-minute rule is going to be broken. And that is, you've got 3 minutes from meeting her to locking her in. And until you're locked in, where you're sitting down, or you're at least locked in, leaning up against the bar, or leaning up against the wall with them surrounding you. If it doesn't look like you're a part of the group when someone enters the set, like one of their friends, for instance, it can compromise my values. That's why I hold back. The fear. Even the best pickup artists in the world get the fear. But we barrel through it. That's what the purpose of the 3-second rule is really all about. It's about suppressing your fear by just going in right away. But sometimes you gotta hold back. They're here. They're not going anywhere. to set in mind. I'd like to create some social proof. First, if I'm going to enter into the set, by the approach alone, I'm going to convey my interest. So, the most logical thing at this point would be for me to open an adjacent set. And then, I don't necessarily have to merge it forward. I just have to be seen with a female. Where's the two set? Hello, how are you? Magical.
He's adding so much extra stuff that's not really necessary. He's overthinking it, and like, so coming from this mindset, a lot of the guys that get in mystery method are very newbie. They're very shy. Like, you can see these two guys here, they're watching him currently. These two guys, they don't need to overthink approaching more than they already are. So it's not really necessarily good advice early on. At a higher level, I could see some guys doing that. But if I was into a girl, I would just approach her, and I wouldn't go through about all the rigmarole, and I would just approach her and I go say hi. I'm not even just, to be fair, I'm not even just approaching girls, I'm approaching everybody. Like, because I'm trying to get myself into a certain headspace. So at like a beginner level, you should just be focusing on approaching and learning to relax. At an intermediate level, you should be focusing on playing the numbers, approaching more, and then learning from your mistakes, writing a lot of field reports and working on it. Then at an advanced level, you should be working on actually focusing on your emotions and the way you feel and getting yourself into a certain energy to get yourself a certain outcome. Getting yourself to an energy that makes you sexy. But that's an RSD concept, an RSD idea. This actually is pretty good for advice for maybe like an intermediate-ish kind of guy. Like, mystery method, generally speaking, is pretty good for that. And there's some things that are decent for beginners, but beginners need to actually focus on fundamentals over small little things. Here's the thing, though, actually, that's funny enough. I actually like Mystery's game. I think he's actually good at game. I just don't like his coaching. So it's actually kind of a funny thing. In regards to this, coaching and being good at game are completely two different skills. You can be like good at game. I mean, if to be fair, it's like if you're good at game, like to be a good coach, you have to be good at game. To be fair, at some level, I mean, like you can't be teaching intermediates if you're not intermediate yourself. You can't be teaching intermediates how to be advanced if you're not advanced yourself. But you can be good at game and not be good at coaching. I think Mystery actually has good game, but not for the reasons I don't think he knows 100% why he does have good game. I think he does think, like, all these things he says, I think he thinks these are the reasons, but I'll actually show you guys why it actually is.
Nice to meet you. My name's Paloma.
I recognize you for some reason.
Really?
Why is that?
Because they say I look like Jason Fuentes.
All right, bring it on.
No, that's what they say. I don't think so.
Who's they?
Every time I bump into somebody, they say.
So he's not using filler words. He's being still when he needs to be. He's still taking action. He is on his own path. He has in his own energy. He's not reacting to her. She's reacting to him. He's very on his heels. You're going to see a lot of that. And also, too, you're going to see these camera pans when they show his eye contact with the girl. It's laser in, and it's also very cocky. And he's very still and relaxed with his face.
You have a cigarette on you? Do you smoke? Oh, what a good you are. Thanks.
Somebody's actual kiss
A little push like that too. He does a lot of pushes, so his game's a lot more pushy than mine is, but it's still pretty good. He's like, basically what he's doing is he's pushing away a lot of good you are, but in a playful way. It's obviously not meant to like hurt her feelings. He doesn't talk too much about. He pushes the lines, but he doesn't talk about the energy underneath the lines at all ever. He more says, just say these lines. These lines are gonna get you laid, and it's like a really good way to sell engineer type guys, because engineers have very low EQ, and they don't understand how important subcommunications are, but they're fucking important. They're there, and it, like, girls can sense when you're disingenuous. He's very good at saying the lines and the energy, and he's very good at nailing the right mentality behind the lines, but he doesn't really coach that.
Is this a trick question?
No, it's a trick question.
At some point, I'm going to have to find a cigarette. Because I'm jonesing for one. I'm
They
feeling
have
it.
cigarettes in the men's restroom.
No, I've got cigarettes back there at a little table.
I think I take
Now, what's the purpose of that? That's what I'd like
I
to
don't
know.
know. Why don't you ask that? What is the purpose of all this?
And by the way, I do actually love that strategy of like leaning up against something when you approach, and also to the outside observers, it does look like she approached you, which is pretty good. Especially for pre-selection later on, if you do talk to another girl, it's really good. And also too, again, if her friends walk in this interaction, yeah, he's right. If her friends walk in this interaction, He's sitting down, she's standing up. It looks like she's chasing him.
They are interested in social dynamic interaction, but as long as we don't look at them or talk about it,
It's fine.
yeah.
Okay. I like the hat.
Thank you.
I have a white one.
You're fucking with me.
I have a white one, but it's a little different.
That was an attracted laugh, in case you're curious. Do you hear like the high, ha ha ha? And it was a little squeal. That was an authentic attracted laugh.
But not exactly. So, anyhow. So, you don't live here in San Diego.
You make facial.
She laughed like that to break the tension. So he added tension by being silent. A lot of you guys undervalue silence in an interaction. You guys try to fill it. You guys use all the you guys don't instead of pausing, you guys use filler words, or you guys are just uncomfortable with the space. Yeah, obviously you have to be conversational and whatnot. And I'll say this too. She does say it in a second here, but she is here partially because she saw the cameras, and he has that inherent value. And you can see the guy next to him right there. That guy's staring straight at him, trying to fucking observe the mystery. So it looks like mystery is like some famous guy by all these people. And also he looks like he has high stats because everybody in the venue, he has a bunch of clients here, and guys like this are just staring at him. When I used to work with RSD, this was commonly the thing that would happen when you go out. Owen would have this all the time. All the RSD instructors will always have this all the time, and it does add value to your interactions when like so many people just like laser in on you like that.
Questions like,
Wait, is that bad? Is that good?
it just is.
Okay.
Alright. Well, how's this? At some point I'm gonna introduce you to some good people. You're in a good place today. You feel it, right? This is just a good vibe. No way.
I come here a lot.
Were you here last weekend?
No, last weekend I went on a date. Were you here last weekend?
I was here last weekend.
Really?
I don't know which day last weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, one of those days.
I really like it after the project games.
She keeps nervously fidgeting by grabbing her bracelet
And on Sundays they have some.
in a good way.
I haven't been there on Sundays. Like,
I'm curious about you.
wow!
I don't know why.
Wow! What are you curious about?
I wasn't given an instruction book on how to be human. I just trust my feelings, my instincts. I'm sure you'll say something that'll turn me off in a heartbeat,
No, what?
But as long as you don't speak, we're gold. Bring it on. Who are your friends? Where are they?
They're all over there.
Fun. All my friends are right here. I'll catch up to speed with some of my friends.
Okay, tell me.
Before I introduce you, good people first off. I'm sure you have good close friends, right? You got your girlfriend, your close.
Well, I'm a girl, so there's a lot of competition with girls. They're your friends, and they're jealous of you, so it's different. I have more guy friends.
Yeah, you're really throwing a lot of baggage onto here. Holy shit.
So, yeah. But okay, continue. You have good friends, so that's good.
And back to me.
Okay, back to you.
So, when I first moved to America, I'm originally from Toronto. The first group of friends that gravitated to me weren't necessarily the friends I ever planned on keeping. They're gonna see. They were just the friends, the
Leading. Here, have a seat. Leading.
lovable losers that that gravitated to the new shiny object simply because, well, I needed to know where the laundromat was, It reminds me of when I was in high school, and I moved to a new area of Toronto, and I went to a new high school, and the first group of friends that gravitated to me, I needed to know where my fucking locker was, but I didn't need them to follow me home. Do you know what I mean? It's like, cool, man. Hey, awesome. Nice meeting you. So the friends that I have now, introduce me to your friends. That's the polite thing to do. You can dress her up, can't take her anywhere, Nice to meet you. Pleasure. How you doing? You are? Mystery. My real name's Eric, but all my friends call me Mystery. Pleasure to meet you. Jim.
Someone
Jim.
kiss me instead of tattoo.
None of that now. Hands off. Jesus Christ, women. Mystery. Pleasure to meet you.
You'll notice the guy too right here. he's holding the drink in front of him, and then every time he starts feeling awkward, which he felt awkward when Mystery did that, because Mystery's asserting a lot of dominance in the interaction. Every time Mystery does that, he takes a drink because he's like, oh, I'm nervous now. I need more alcohol, and he drinks. You'll see him keep doing that. He's trying to get like more intoxicated so he can keep up with Mystery.
And that was a greasy wet hand. What's going on here? Oh, where were we at? I was going to catch you up to speed with some of my friends here. Because you don't know.
He was asking about the cameras, but Mystery went on different. He's like right out there. He's looking at the camera. He's like, "Well, what's up with the camera?" He's like, "Are we filming something? Is that what's going on? Is she like in some kind of video or something like that?" That's why he's asking.
And there was a time I didn't know them either, so I'd catch you up for shits and giggles.
But that's not a bad thing either, because now the guy's gonna chase to understand what the cameras are about. So like he misinterpreted it. I don't know if he actually did that on purpose, but it's actually a good thing, because now the guy's. I don't remember what the guy does exactly, but he left it out there, and he's like he also didn't like try to impress the guy with the cameras or anything like that, which also is good.
My friends now are very different from the friends I had up in Toronto where I'm born and raised. They're more Hollywood crowd. They're good. They're cool people. But the first group that gravitated to me, I've since carefully cultivated my social garden. Huh? I wrote that. I'm gonna use that again.
For less than 5 years.
What's that?
You've been there for less than 5 years.
No, I've been here in America, in Hollywood, Vegas. I spent 9 months in Fort Lauderdale, or actually Hollywood, both Hollywoods, right? For 9 months there, so 8 years on and off, right? And so the friends that I have now are just the people that I really, they're good people, you know? For instance, that guy Chris with the sunglasses over there, yeah, and the fuzzy hair.
I actually do this too. I never brag on myself, but I will 100% brag on my friends. This is actually not a bad thing to do. If you guys are out and about, don't never brag. I hate the DHV thing. Any coach that talks about DHV, I will vehemently disagree with them. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you should be bragging. But really, bragging on your friends is by far the best thing you possibly could do. Like that's like if you want to like quote unquote DHV your friends above all else, not yourself.
He's a really good guy, you know. Like I've got a really good circle of friends. You know, I don't need more friends. You know, they're like a good bunch of people, good guys, beautiful women in our lifestyle, and good people. Do you know what I mean?
He didn't have to throw in the beautiful women part. That can come across button pushy with a girl that's very very socially intelligent. I didn't like that particularly. And also the traveling. I think he either went into traveling just now or he's about to. He's like some of the stuff he's doing. He's very clearly trying to DHV again. That he's DHVing. It was okay for him to DHV his friends. DHVing himself though, a girl that's like a lot more high status or a girl that's not that like is very socially intelligent, which usually is the really upper echelon of like socially intelligent girls, which usually honestly actually surprisingly are like the hotter girls or the really cool ass girls. They'll see that and they'll see right through it and they'll be disinterested. They'll be like, why is he bragging? Like he was cool to begin with, but now he's bragging. Why is he bragging? Like it comes across try hard.
I just feel privileged now. I hate to sound condescending to them in any way, but I'm proud of them, you know? They're like they're the type of friends that you want to be friends with. And they make me want to be a better person. You know? I learn a lot. Chris, for instance, he and we traveled over the last 4 months.
He's talking about himself way too much. He should actually, to be fair, get the guy talking about himself. Like everybody's favorite subject is themselves. It can come across like he has this idea in his head that the girls are so high value, and then you want to like knock them down. And the idea behind Mystery Method is that the girl's higher value than you, and you need to show her that you're higher. Like by doing these games, now you become higher value. But the idea behind new game and the guys who are good at game nowadays is that I'm already at the girl's level, or I'm above her in value. Like he's coming from a mindset of I need to get there. That's why he's saying all this stuff. He feels like he's lower value than this guy, than the girl, and it's coming across. Now he has to like basically brag in order to kind of catch up. But if he was like, hey, well dude, what's up with you? Like what are you about? And then like now to be fair, potentially the guy starts qualifying himself to him, which actually would be even better. Or the girl starts qualifying himself to her, or himself to him. And action feeds ego, if somebody's qualifying to you, then you must like them, and the more that somebody qualifies to you, Todd V actually says this, The way that you know you're gonna pull is when the girl when the girl's qualifying herself to you. That's like if a girl's qualifying herself to you, it's like 100% close rate. So like he's qualifying too much, and he's not, and they're not. These two right here are not qualifying at all. To be fair, yeah, but at least they're engaged. They're engaged. Partially, I feel like it might be because of the cameras, so he has social proof in the environment. But yeah.
I have been traveling the fucking world. It has been awesome. I've been in Australia. I went to fucking Australia. How cool is that, right? Sydney, Australia, Melbourne, London, Toronto twice. I'm originally from Toronto, so I went to see my mother. But I stayed in a hotel, you know, rented a
It's time to stop!
car and did it that way. Hanging at her house kind of creeps me out a little bit. You know? A little bit, eh? Yeah, but my dad had passed away, you know, close to 3 years ago, and she's just got pictures up of him still. So I just feel uncomfortable. Because even the wise man lives in the fool's paradise. I'm here. You know? I can have selective ignorance and say, you know, I became the tribal leader ever since that happened, is how I feel, you know?
What are you guys filming here tonight?
They're doing some filming for, what is it, basically? A montage of social dynamic interaction. But this one's boring, so don't worry about it. Later.
So he said something. So actually, Mystery right there kind of slightly fucked up a little bit. But this one's kind of boring. So he didn't say it with like an intonation like he was joking until he laughed, and then he started getting really nervous. So he seemed like looking back and forth really rapidly. He himself felt a little uncomfortable after saying that. So then he started doing that, and now this guy actually is kind of tilting his head forward slightly aggressively. I don't really remember too much about this interaction. So here, let's see what's going on.
In the night, you know, my friends will meet people and good people, a good crew here. This is Danny. I'll introduce you to her in a moment. And by the end of it all, we'll be Jay Bates. How you doing?
Of RJ Bates and Company. He's the president.
I thought it was Peacock out tonight, but fun. What I've learned is that if you wear one interesting item, just one, if a woman finds you attractive from a distance, perhaps because she saw you surrounded by some girls or something, so she feels that instant piqued interest, right?
Never talk about game like while you're gaming. I made that mistake a lot because I was so obsessed with this shit when I was younger. Never narrate game, because now you're actually can set off a girl to not trust you, and you set a bad precedence. Don't narrate how you're picking her up. I mean, here's the one good caveat to this. He says he talks about what he wants to talk about. That's actually the one caveat. That actually could come across the right way, but that specifically, I mean, I avoid it. I don't do that shit.
By having one interesting item, she could comment on it, and it makes it exactly busted.
I want this to be my interesting item.
The neat thing about
Yeah, so the guy was getting a little bit so. When the young guy came in, you could see the guy was a little nervous. So I'm talking about the guy that's not Mystery. And so when the guy came in, he put his arm around him, almost like kind of like trying to show his dominance, because he feels a dominance. He's a little bit narcissistic, and he feels like Mystery is kind of running the show right now. And so he's trying to out alpha him. So you see him like touching his shit like this, and he picks it, like just grabs his boa, doesn't even ask for permission. Like he's trying to tease him. So basically, he feels like now Mystery might be a nerd, and so he's trying to pick on him slightly. Mystery handles it really well, though.
you've already got the hat. You can lock in. You give this to me. Exactly.
So he didn't take it as like a bullying tactic or a slight. He's like he took it the right way, and like he just assumed that he didn't mean it as a bully tactic, like trying to be a narcissist, trying to command his situation. He's like, oh, here, you can have it.
Oh, yeah, but I'd like it back. Thank you. But by all means, man, give it a go. But the neat thing isn't that you're wearing it. It's that when you speak to someone, you can put it on them. And then roll off and say back.
To give it back to you.
Yeah, well, hey, it's a scarf, you know. If you lose a scarf in here, so be it, you know. Hey, I haven't lost it yet. When I go to the bar, I usually hang out in certain scenes where I'm not concerned that someone's gonna steal my fucking scarf. You know what I mean? Like,
He's bragging again. That's why I hate DHVs. If I was in a situation with this guy, I'm like, dude, why is he bragging so much? It would actually kind of annoy me a bit. And most guys who are cool do the same things. Like it's like when you brag so much, it indicates it to both to high quality girls and to those few rare cool guys that like this guy it comes across try hard.
and you just locked me in. See, that's the idea. Usually on a girl, but you know, but it's fun.
And peacocking out in a given night is not anything unique.
No, it's not, and it can actually lower your value.
Yeah, the guy that actually just came into this, you can see him shifting weight from foot to foot. It's a common thing guys do to expel nervous energy. Don't do it. If you're somebody that shifts weight from foot to foot, get in the habit at first of taking a wider stance. You'll stop doing it, and then eventually you'll stop doing it altogether, and then you don't take the wide stance. It's just kind of a crutch. But he's shifting weight from foot to foot because he's nervous. He's trying to get rid of that nervous energy.
Opening a 2-set or a 3-set,
It can lower your value. If you come in and you're not seen with anybody, right? And then 10 minutes later you're still not seen with anybody, they'll know why, because you're decked out weird. You're a weirdo. But if they see you as I am now, social, shooting the shit, these people, they already see that I've got some social value.
you need to recognize that as being in the game like yourself,
Right.
you would understand what's
Exactly.
in the game.
Exactly. We're very much on the same page. Hello. You look lovely today. Why am I putting on an accent like this? The word lovely means an English accent. Like lovey-dovey. You're fucking with me, aren't you? Yes, you are. Bringing it on, right? You're just laying it on thick, aren't you? I've eaten rosary for breakfast, but it's cute, you know, you step up. I'm Canadian, yeah, from Toronto, so.
It wasn't a bad line, but I try to avoid like the competitive frames with the girls because then even though the interaction looks like it's going good, then the girl is in a combative frame and then it's constantly like that. So it's not bad strategy, honestly, but she actually took it the right way. But sometimes if you get a girl who's like very like trying to be dominant, especially nowadays with the whole woke shit going on, a girl can take that. Then what she'll do is she'll like be like, she may even like you, but now she has like she's taking the action of being competitive, and now it adds a lot of extra hurdles along your course of you trying to like, you know, quote unquote pick her up. That wouldn't be helpful. But she handled it actually pretty properly. She didn't get competitive about it, so that's good.
Process. But I could say process. I've been getting away. Hello.
My friend Shelly. I'm the leader. Hi, I'm Shelly.
You're the leader?
Shelly. Hey, girl. Hi, nice
Do you
to
smoke?
meet you. What's that?
Do you smoke cigarettes?
No.
Do you smoke cigarettes?
I'm a nerd.
Could you do me a favor?
I'm a nerd, sorry.
Use your womanly wiles to procure 2 cigarettes if you can. One for me,
One for you.
and one for you.
Or one for you.
I'll provide the lighter. It's your challenge. Let's just see you win a cigarette. Let's see how socially savvy you are. Stepping up again. I'm calling you out on this shit. I know. Yeah. So what I've done so far is created the social value necessary to run adjacent sets. Who are you?
Do you have a microphone? Can I hear you?
Can you hear me?
I can.
And that's all that counts. What nationality are you? Persian. You know a lot. Have you city?
I really want to go.
Here's a good thing he did. He befriended all the friends. A lot of you guys don't do that, and that's why you guys get cock blocked. I mean, there's honestly 3 reasons why a girl will cock block you, but the way that you can handle all of them is by befriending the friends. It's a good way to do it.
Are you always this expressive and energetic, or are you just nervous? So you're not nervous in public? Not even just a snitching? It's fun, isn't it? There are a lot of cool people on this planet.
I mean, of course, but once you start talking, everybody's interested, and then you get it.
Hold on for a second. Trust? I'm fascinated by psychology. Watch this. It's right there. Right there. Don't look away. Ready? Now.
Oh my god, that was cool. Do it again.
All right, actually, this is kind of a cool concept right here. Look, girls like skill. Girls are attracted to skill, whether it be dancing, whether it's singing, whether it's magic tricks. Girls are attracted to you being skilled. If you guys want to get better at a game, develop skills. This actually, it's something that I need to talk more about on my channel. But being skilled, being proficient in life, that's sexy. That's attractive.
Just like a woman.
Oh, do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
I'm fascinated by psychology. Magic the Gathering, where you play.
Mystery has good game. There's nobody that is questioning that. At times can be awkward, at times can be a little bit autistic, yeah. But overall, in comparison to other dating coaches, I think he's pretty brilliant. I think he's very smart. He clearly put in the work in approaching. He figured out his own style of game, but when it came to translation, I think he could have done better. I really do think he could have done better. Which is not a fault of his own. I mean, we're all subject to our own biology and time. I mean, he started this off in the early 2000s. He was the first guy that really took this to a different level. And that was over 20 years ago. Like, I'm not expecting Razr phones to compete with iPhones nowadays. That just doesn't make sense. I'm not expecting a Nokia to compete with a Samsung of nowadays. In the same way, I'm not beating him up for not knowing what he's talking about, but if he wants to continue coaching, it'd be good if he evolves a little bit in that regards. He clearly is good with girls. He clearly knows what he's talking about, and he clearly is very verbose. This is 1/3 of all the infield that I found online. If you guys want me to react to more, comment below, let me know you guys want to do it. Like the video, subscribe, and if you guys are interested in coaching, text me at 702-841-9909. And with that being said, peace.
I'm feeling godly. Wonder how much that gon' cost me. They feeling saucy. Niggas know that I'm a problem. They'll never solve me. If you came and start some drama, then bring an army. I've been going fucking fast and it got me swerving. I know that I'm a child of God, but they want me cursed. I've been trapping out the O's.